Mother demanded $20,000 for my sister's wedding. When I refused, she stole it as a 27-year-old man. I've always known my mother had her favorites. Growing up, you learn to accept certain realities. Some kids bask in the glow of attention while others are left footing the bill. I was usually the latter. My younger sister, Emily, was the cherished one from the start. Private school tuition covered, a car gifted at 18, and college paid for without her ever working a single shift. Meanwhile, I scraped through community college, juggling night shifts at a warehouse to afford textbooks, building character or something like that. But this was a whole new level of audacity. It was a Thursday evening, around 7 p.m. I'd just gotten home from my job at an engineering firm, still in my work attire, ready to pour a drink and relax. That's when my mother barged into my apartment. Yes, she still had a key. The look on her face told me I was about to regret something. She didn't even bother sitting down. Standing in my living room, arms crossed, she dropped the bombshell. Emily's wedding to James is in 3 months. She needs $20,000. You're going to give it to her. Not a request, not a discussion, but a flat-out demand for $20,000. I sank into a chair, clutching my drink, trying to process her words. Mom, that's my entire savings. I've been grinding for 4 years to build that up. Her face didn't flinch, cold and calculated as always. You don't need it right now. Emily's getting married. It's her moment. Family comes first, Michael. Or did I raise you to be selfish? There it was, the guilt trip, her go-to weapon since I was a kid, painting me as the villain for daring to keep my hard-earned money. I worked 60-hour weeks, skipped vacations, and this was my reward. I took a deep breath, staying calm. Mom, I earned that money. Emily's 26. Her fiancé, James, has a good job. They earn double what I do. If they can't afford their dream wedding, maybe they should scale it back or save up. Wrong move. Her expression hardened like stone. So you're going to humiliate your sister, let her walk down the aisle in some cheap venue because her brother's too stingy to help the family. Everyone will know you refused. Your aunts, uncles, cousins, everyone. The threat was clear. She'd brand me the selfish son who ruined Emily's big day at every family gathering for eternity. Never mind that I'd bilaid them out before, covering Mom's car payments twice last year, footing the bill for Emily's emergency dental work, including cosmetic upgrades. Yet I was the greedy one. I'm not paying for Emily's wedding, I said firmly, locking eyes with her. The room felt like it dropped 10 degrees. Her lips pressed into a thin line, her eyes narrowing. You're making a huge mistake, Michael. Don't say I didn't warn you. She spun around, stormed out, and slammed the door so hard the walls shook. I sat in the quiet aftermath, a sinking feeling in my gut telling me this wasn't over. I should have changed the locks that night. Should have frozen my accounts. Should have done a lot of things, but I thought even she wouldn't cross certain lines. I was wrong. Friday morning, my phone was blowing up. 3 missed calls from my bank's fraud department and 2 text alerts. My stomach churned as I logged into my banking app. My worst fears were confirmed. My credit line was nearly maxed out. Almost $20,000 in pending charges had hit overnight. My checking account was untouched. This was all on my credit card. The transaction list made my blood boil. $7,000 for a wedding venue deposit, $5,500 for catering, $3,800 for a photography package, $2,000 for flowers, $1,300 for dress fittings, and $400 for decorations. All posted within 8 hours. I kept my credit card locked in a desk drawer. My hands shook as I dialed the bank. After 20 minutes, the fraud rep confirmed what I already suspected. Someone had my full card details, including the CVV code. Does anyone have access to your apartment? They asked. My mother has a key, I admitted. She demanded that exact amount yesterday. Silence on the line. Sir, you'll need to file a police report for fraud. With family involved, this could get messy. I hung up, sat on my couch, and tried to wrap my head around it. My mother had broken into my apartment, taken my credit card, and gone on a $20,000 spending spree for Emily's wedding. Not asked, not borrowed, stolen. I called my friend David, a coworker of 5 years, to cancel our usual Friday coffee run. He heard the edge in my voice. Dude, you sound rough. What's going on? I spilled everything. He paused, then said, You need to shut this down now or they'll keep pulling this forever. He was right. This wasn't just about money anymore. It was about my mother thinking she could rob me blind without consequences. I called her. She answered on the 3rd ring, sounding cheerful, as if she hadn't committed a felony hours earlier. Morning, Michael. I hope you've reconsidered. You stole my credit card? I cut her off, voice like steel. You took $20,000. Silence, then her classic condescending tone. Oh, don't be so dramatic. I didn't steal anything. I just took care of things. Emily needed help and you were being difficult. You'll thank me when you see how beautiful the wedding is. She didn't even deny it. No apology, just acting like she'd done me a favor. I want my card back and you're canceling every charge, I said. She laughed. Michael, darling, it's done. The deposits are non-refundable. Just let it go. What are you going to do? Call the police on your own mother? That was her trump card, betting I wouldn't press charges because of family or how it'd look. She thought she'd train me to avoid making waves. She was wrong. You have 72 hours to return every cent or I'm filing a police report, I said. You wouldn't dare. I hung up. I called the bank again, reported the card stolen, and flagged all charges as fraudulent. The rep walked me through filing a police report, which I scheduled for the next morning. Then I made a move that would pay off later. I called my dad. My parents split 7 years ago when I was 20. It was ugly. Dad discovered Mom had been skimming their joint accounts for years, which led to his departure. He now lived 2 states away, remarried, and had a new life. He answered on the second ring. Michael, everything okay? Dad, I need to talk about Grandpa's will, the trust fund you mentioned. Saturday morning, I showed up at the police station with bank statements, transaction logs, text screenshots, and a timeline. Officer Sarah Thompson took my report, initially skeptical. You're pressing charges against your mother for credit card fraud? She asked, scanning the documents. Yeah. She stole my card from my apartment and spent my savings without permission. I have proof she was there. I pulled up CCTV footage from my building's management, showing Mom sneaking into my place at 2 a.m. and leaving 50 minutes later with a small bag. Thompson's skepticism turned to concern. This is solid evidence, Mr. Carter. With this video and the financial records, we can move forward. Are you sure you want to proceed? Absolutely, I said. She nodded, started the paperwork, and warned me it'd take a few days to process. They'd question Mom and Emily, and I should brace for backlash. I was ready for it. By Sunday, Emily was texting me furiously. How could you do this to me? My wedding's in 10 weeks. Everyone will know you're a selfish jerk. I hope you're happy ruining my day. I didn't reply, just saved every message to my evidence folder. My Uncle Robert, Mom's brother, called that evening. He'd always been the reasonable one but avoided family drama. Michael, your mom's in a panic, saying you're trying to get her arrested over a misunderstanding. I cut him off. She stole $20,000 from me. That's not a misunderstanding, it's a crime. He sighed. I'm not saying she's right, but is this worth tearing the family apart? Can't you work it out? Translation, let her rob you quietly. She had her chance, I said. This isn't about money anymore. It's about accountability. He warned me Mom was talking about resources and fighting back, code for lawyers. That's why my call with Dad was critical. He'd sent me documents about Grandpa's trust fund, set up after he sold his business 5 years ago. The trust split his wealth among his kids and grandkids, with a key clause. Any beneficiary convicted of fraud, theft, or financial crimes against family forfeits their share, which is redistributed to the others. Mom's $200,000 share was locked until she turned 62 next year. Emily's $50,000 share unlocked at 28. As secondary trustee after Dad, I could enforce the forfeiture if Mom was convicted. Her and Emily's combined $250,000 would go to me and my cousins. Grandpa had added this clause because he'd seen Mom's manipulative streak and wanted to protect us. I'd thought it was overkill, until now. Monday, Officer Thompson called. We're charging your mother with fraud. She'll be questioned this week. As for Emily, if she knowingly benefited from the fraud, we'll investigate, but it's trickier. I texted Emily. Return every charge made with my stolen card within 72 hours, or you're tied to Mom's fraud case. Her reply was instant. You're crazy. The deposits are non-refundable. The wedding's in 9 weeks. I'm not canceling anything. I shot back. Then you'll be planning a wedding while Mom faces jail. Your call. She responded, you're bluffing. You won't do this. I didn't reply. Wednesday, the storm hit. Thompson and another officer visited Mom's house for questioning. My aunt, who lived nearby, gave me a play-by-play. The cops stayed for 90 minutes. Mom looked shaken, and Emily screamed at them from the driveway. That afternoon, Mom's lawyer, Richard Bennett, called, a family law and white-collar defense specialist. Mr. Carter, I represent Claudia Carter regarding your allegations. My client acknowledges a misunderstanding about your credit card. She's willing to repay the $20,000 over 15 months if you drop the charges. I nearly laughed. A misunderstanding. She stole my card and committed fraud. There's video evidence. No deal. His tone sharpened. Pursuing charges will be costly, time-consuming, and destroy your family. Is $20,000 worth that? Yes, I said flatly. He warned it'd get ugly. I was ready. Family texts poured in, Aunt Linda, Uncle Robert, distant cousins, all begging me to drop the charges, be the bigger person, save Emily's wedding. None condemned Mom's actions. It was all about protecting her and ensuring Emily's perfect day. Funny how family first only applied when they needed something from me. I was done playing nice. That evening David swung by with pizza and beer. "They got a lawyer, huh? You in trouble?" he asked. "Nah," I said. "I've got video, bank records, and Mom's own admission on a recorded call. She's toast." I showed him Emily's Instagram, where she'd posted a sob story about her toxic brother ruining her wedding. The comments were sympathetic. Her friends didn't know the truth. David shook his head. "Your family's wild. What's your end game?" I told him about the trust fund and the $250,000 forfeiture clause. He whistled. "That's savage justice, though," I nodded. "She's taken from me my whole life, money, time, peace. Now she learns." The next few days were a whirlwind. Thompson updated me. They'd seized Mom's financial records and found she'd borrowed from other relatives without permission before. Friday, Emily's fiancé, James, called, sounding exhausted. "Michael, can we meet for coffee? Just us." Curious, I agreed to meet Saturday. At the coffee shop, James looked like he hadn't slept in days. "Thanks for coming. I know things are a mess." Understatement of the year. He took a breath. "I didn't know your mom stole the money. Emily told me you'd agreed to help with the wedding. I thought it was weird you never mentioned it, but she said you preferred dealing through your mom." I leaned back, studying him. "And you believed her even though we never spoke?" He ran a hand through his hair. "I wanted to trust her. We're supposed to get married in 9 weeks. "So what changed?" I asked. He explained. During Thursday's police questioning, he overheard everything. When the cops left, he confronted Emily. She admitted Mom had planned the theft for weeks, with Emily scouting my apartment during a visit 3 months earlier to locate my wallet and documents. Emily suggested hitting my account at night to avoid immediate detection. My fists clenched under the table. Emily wasn't just complicit, she was an active planner. "Why tell me this?" I asked. James met my eyes. "Because I'm not marrying someone who'd robbed their own brother. I called off the wedding this morning." He showed me desperate texts from Emily, claiming it was all Mom's idea and begging him to reconsider. She even threatened to paint him as the villain who cheated or abandoned her. "I'm ready for it," he said. "I told my family the truth." He showed me screenshots of texts between Emily and Mom, detailing their plan to access my apartment and book vendors. One message from Emily read, "Michael's too soft to actually press charges. He'll back off before the wedding." That stung. "Can I have these?" I asked. "Already emailed them to you," he said. "Figured the police would want them." We shook hands as we parted. "I'm sorry you're dealing with this," he said. "Your family's made you feel like the problem. You're not." That afternoon, I forwarded the screenshots to Thompson. She called back. "These texts are game changers, Mr. Carter. If Emily knowingly planned the fraud, we can charge her as an accomplice. Are you okay with that?" I thought of every time Emily got away with lies, theft, and blame shifting as a kid, always shielded by Mom. "Yes," I said, "charge her." The next week was chaos. Monday, Thompson questioned Emily. By Tuesday, she was arrested as an accomplice to fraud thanks to James's texts. Family texts flooded in, outraged that I'd let Emily get arrested, as if I'd cuffed her myself. Wednesday, Mom's lawyer called, his tone now laced with panic. "Mr. Carter, given your sister's arrest, my client offers to repay the $20,000 immediately and cover your legal fees if you drop the charges." I shut it down. She had her chance. Now she faces the consequences. He warned of jail time, 3 to 6 years for fraud and identity theft. "Is that what you want for your mother?" he asked. "I want her held accountable," I said, "just once." Friday, Thompson updated me. Mom was charged with credit card fraud, identity theft, and felony theft. Emily was charged as an accomplice. The prosecutor offered a plea deal. 4 years probation, 250 hours of community service, a criminal record and full restitution, but no jail time if they complied. The catch? They'd have to plead guilty in court and publicly admit their actions. The hearing was set for Monday, and they had until end of day Friday to accept. I waited to see if Mom's pride would push her to trial. Mom called that evening, leaving a shaky voicemail. "Michael, please pick up. The lawyer says we should take the plea deal. We'd have to admit everything in court. Everyone will know. Please, there's got to be another way. I didn't call back. Emily tried from a friend's number, also leaving a voicemail. Michael, I know you're mad, but don't take this to court. James left me. The wedding's off. My friends know what happened. I've lost everything. I'll pay you back myself, get a job, anything. Please don't make us do this. Her voice broke into sobs. I felt a flicker of pity, then remembered her text. Michael's too soft to follow through. I didn't respond. Monday, I went to the courthouse wanting closure. Mom and Emily stood before Judge Margaret Stone, looking defeated. The charges were read, and their lawyer confirmed they'd take the plea deal. The judge asked if they understood a guilty plea meant a permanent criminal record. Mom whispered, "Yes, Your Honor." Emily just nodded. Then came the allocution. Mom spoke first, voice hollow. I entered my son's apartment without permission at night, took his credit card, and used it to pay $20,000 for my daughter's wedding, knowing he refused to give me the money. I did it intentionally. Emily followed, voice trembling. I helped plan it. I told my mom where Michael kept his card. I knew the money was stolen and used it for my wedding. The courtroom was silent. Judge Stone accepted their pleas, sentencing them to 4 years probation, 250 hours of community service, $20,000 in restitution, first payment due in 45 days, and mandatory therapy. Any violation meant jail. As we left, Mom saw me in the back row. Her eyes, wet with tears, met mine defeat, maybe regret. Emily tried to approach, but her lawyer pulled her back. She called out, "Michael, can we talk?" I walked to my car and drove off. 3 days later, my phone lit up with calls from Mom, Emily, and relatives, all wanting to work things out. I ignored them for 72 hours, letting them stew. Friday, an unknown number called. "Is this Michael Carter?" a woman asked. "I'm Lisa Bennett from Horizon Bank. Claudia and Emily Carter listed you as a contact for a $20,000 loan application to cover court-ordered restitution. Their recent convictions flagged the application. Can you confirm you're the victim in their fraud case?" I told her I wasn't involved in their finances and to check public records. She confirmed and hung up. They were scrambling for a high-interest loan to repay me, likely planning to guilt me later. I called Dad. "I saw the court records," he said. "What a week." I asked about enforcing the trust's forfeiture clause. "Mom's conviction triggers it, right?" He confirmed it did, and Emily's too. I'd get their $250,000 share as the victim. "File the paperwork," I said. That evening, I parked outside Mom's house, watching the lights and shadows inside. My phone buzzed, a text from Mom. "I know you're outside. Please come in, we need to talk." I got out, and she opened the door before I knocked, looking a decade older. Emily sat on the couch, equally worn. Papers covered the dining table, loan applications, budgets, desperation. "We need to discuss the restitution," Mom said. Thank you for watching my story. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe and press the bell icon. Stay tuned for more real-life stories, get more experiences.